We're going to be reviewing the Phantom, the Defenders of the Earth version created by NECA, and we're going to be having a look at some of the other things that came with this figurine. So stay tuned for that, and it will be starting right now. First question we're going to be answering in this review is, are the NECA figurines, are the NECA Phantom figurines any good? And is the NECA Phantom figurine, the Defenders of the Earth version, any good? When I first got this figurine last year, I was already planning on doing a review of it, but the figurines, when they come out of their box, which in my collection nowadays I have 2 copies of this figurine. The box looks a bit like this. That's when the figurine's out of its box, a bit like this. It's got a laser blaster and the laser blast effects. I haven't really played with those, but it has the box. It is normally, the box is like one of those standard sort of toy figurine boxes that you might have got from a place called Big W, or in Australia, and there's this place called Big W, and when I go to Big W, they have figurines. This is standard type box that you would normally see in with a figurine. And when the figurine is already in its box and it hasn't been tampered with, it looks like this. It looks like this inside the box, and then when you take it out of the box, it looks a bit like this. And the other thing with this box and with this figurine is that it also has a description on what the character is that's in the box, and a bit of information about the product information and who made this figurine, who was involved in making this figurine. So, and then it also has collect the whole world of heroes and villains. And as I said, this version of the Phantom, there was, I think when NECA was announcing these versions of, like, they were announcing new figurines and all that sort of things, there was going to be 2 versions of the Phantom. So obviously there is another version of the Phantom, and that is called comic book accurate. The other, which that figurine that NECA first made, I think this one was the second one, and the one they made previous to this one was, I think, in celebration of the 85th anniversary of the Phantom comic book strip. I haven't got that figurine because I can't really like it. Like, when Phantom fans were wanting to buy the figurine, it was like getting sold out everywhere, and the figurine was very, very hard to find. But with this figurine, did I get both of my copies of the Phantom and the figurine itself. So I got these figurines, I got these boxes and another figurine up there. I got these from a website called Pop Culture, and I also, in I think the last couple of months, I've also bought the new Phantom mug that's coming from Icon Collectibles, which is going to be amazing. But also, on a side note, this Phantom figurine box also comes with additional character in the box as well, and I'm about to show you it. So this character, he's called Stuff, and this is pretty much what he looks like. And some of the other characters from this series of the Defenders of the Earth version of the Phantom include Lothar, Mandrake Magician, obviously the Phantom, Flash Gordon, and the villain Ming the Merciless. So yeah, I think it's a cool figurine, but if you do get this figurine and you do buy this figurine, one of the biggest things that you have to do with this figurine is put this figurine in warm to hot soapy water. If you do not do that, I am sorry, but if you do not do that, the joints are not great on this figurine. Like, when you first start to play with this figurine, like an adult playing with a figurine, that sounds a bit, yeah. When you start to play with this version of the Phantom, the joints are so solid that you actually have to start to move the legs after it's come out of the warm soapy water. So yeah, I would say it's a great modeled, sculpted figurine, but on a side note, if you're wanting to buy the figurine, you sort of have to know a little bit more about how to get the best out of the figurine and how to make it move and how to make the joints more softer, but pretty much. And a lot of people that you see on Instagram with this figurine and with the other figurine have been taking photos of this figurine in different environments and having that sort of lighting-based photography and having that sort of action-packed photography. And I just think that when I saw those photos on Instagram and when they get shared to other Instagram profiles, I just think it's amazing what you can actually do with this figure. So, finale, what do I think of this figurine? I think it's a good figurine for just a collector and a Phantom fan in itself, but in saying that, you really do need to put it in warm soapy water to actually use it. And there's some instances, if you don't put it in the warm soapy water, you got to have a bit of trouble with moving the joints in this figurine. So I hope you enjoyed this review of the latest NECA Phantom figurine, and as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This year will be one of the best years for the Phantom and one of the best years for myself and this channel and some of the things that I'm going to be making on this channel. So subscribe to the Phantom Cave reviews on YouTube, and as always, keep Phantom caving, and you'll see me in another video.